So we're looking at simultaneous equations, simultaneous linear equations, simultaneous linear equations. So what are simultaneous equations? Yes, happy new month. Welcome. Thank you, Queen Benny. Thank you. Infinity, good evening to you. Good evening. All right. So simultaneous linear equations. What are simultaneous linear equations? The word simultaneous basically means concurrent, happening at the same time. So these are equations that cannot be solved on their own. You need them in pair with another to be solved on its own. Why is it so? Because you have, for example, you have an equation like you have say x plus y. Good, now x plus y equals 6. So in this equation, you are to get the value of x, and you also to get the value of y, and the only constant we have here is 6. So we have two unknowns. We have this unknown, and we have this unknown also. So it is therefore difficult for us to solve this, because we can only solve an equation when we have one unknown, right? And we have other things we have to work with. In this case, we only have 6, and it makes this difficult for us to solve. But we can solve this when we have another equation like 3x minus y. So 3x minus y equals minus 4. Now these two equations to be solved together, this is what we call simultaneous equations. They are called simultaneous equations because these are why it's that your live video is not allowing us to have a screen record. I don't know. Maybe that's TikTok. That should be TikTok. Does TikTok allow for screen recording? I don't know. So, but if you need the recording, I do upload. I uploaded the last one, the one we had on Wednesday. I uploaded today. Yeah. So it's on YouTube. So if you're not following on YouTube, you want to go check Learn. You want to go check Learn with Austin 101. Yeah, on YouTube. Okay. So simultaneous equations, simultaneous and linear equations, because we have quadratic equations and then we have other polynomials also. So linear equation because the highest power is 1. Later we're going to talk about quadratic equations later. So simultaneous because you have to solve them together. You cannot solve one on its own. That's why it's called simultaneous. Simultaneous happening at the same time. Alright. So now how do we go about solving simultaneous equation? Bendera says I should check my setting. Really? Okay, I don't know. Okay, let's share the live already. If we've not done that, please. Let's share the live. Maybe I'll check that later. Alright, let's just focus. So, how do we solve simultaneous equations? How do we solve simultaneous equations? We have three formulas, three methods rather. We have three methods for solving simultaneous equations. Three basic methods. So we have the substitution method. We have the elimination method. And we have the graphical method. Well, of course, we will not be able to look at this. We're not working with graph, but we'll look at this too. But for today, let's see if we can cover the two. Let's just see if time would allow us to cover these two. So we hope to. Alright, so we're going to be looking at these two methods. The substitution method to solving simultaneous equation and the elimination method also for solving simultaneous. No, I'm saying that to the user. Okay, thank you. For solving simultaneous equation. Let's just jump in and take some examples. So example one, so we have given that let me just leave all of these stories. So the main thing, the question is solve the equations 2p minus m equals 6, and the other one is 2p plus 4m equals 1. So we are asked to solve this simultaneous equation. we have to solve for this to get the value of P and also to get the value of M. Okay, it's working for you. So to get the value of P and also to get the value of M in this pair of equations, simultaneous equations. The short-term method is actually the elimination method. Elimination is shorter than substitution method, but you should know both of them. You should know the both of them because you just might be asked to use the substitution method, right? So I will start with the elimination method and I will talk about the substitution also. So now let's solve this. Solution. Using the elimination method. Using the elimination method. So what is the elimination method about? What is the elimination method about? Hello, Lady IJ, welcome. So what is the elimination method about? And to eliminate means to cancel, right? To eliminate means to cancel. So this is about cancelling out one, taking out one, solve for the other, then get the value of the other one, then use it to solve for the other one, the first one you eliminated. So that's what it's about. Elimination method helps you to eliminate one value, right? Then get the other value. Now you only have one unknown, so you can get the value for that one. Now bring in the value of that one into any of the equation, into one of the equation, and get the value for the second this thing. Tony says it's unclear. Okay, we have to manage. Where is okay? We just have to manage this. So elimination method. Now let's start. So the equations again are 2p minus m equals 6 and 2p plus 4m equals 1. 2p minus m equals 6 and 2p plus 4m equals 1. Now when it comes to elimination method, so you're asking yourself first, which do I want to eliminate? It's your choice. Which do I want to eliminate? Do I want to eliminate the p or do I want to eliminate the m? What does that mean? Do I want to take out the p first and solve for the m? Or do I want to take out the m first and solve for the p, then bring in the value for the p and now solve for m? Alright? So it's your choice. You decide, let's vote. Which one are we eliminating first? Do we eliminate p first? Do you want us to eliminate p first and get the value of m? Or eliminate m first and get the value of p? Which do we want? P. Okay, we're eliminating p. Good. So we want to eliminate p, alright? Please, it doesn't mean because you have 2 and 2, so it has to be p. You can eliminate anyone. You can actually eliminate m, alright? Even though the coefficients are different, you can also eliminate p, alright? We're going to look at that. So let's eliminate, in fact, we're going to do the 2. We're going to eliminate p first, get the value of m, then we'll do it again, and this time we're going to eliminate m first and get the value of p. So I just hope we're going to be following, alright? So let's pay attention. So I want to eliminate p. The first thing you check for the coefficient, alright? Check the coefficient of p here. This is equation 1. I call this equation 1 and this is equation 2. So this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. So check, since I want to eliminate p, right? Check the coefficient of p in equation 1 and check for the coefficient of p. I hope you remember what coefficient is. The number you see here in front of the p, that's the coefficient, okay? So check also the coefficient of p in equation 2. Are they the same? If they are the same, we can move forward. If they're not the same, you have to make them the same first, right? Good evening, Kojo Destiny. So you have to make them the same first. So, but they are the same. So what are we going to do next? Check for their signs. Are the signs the same? This is positive, right? Positive 2. So it's plus. And this is also positive 2. It's also plus. Now, if the signs are the same, either plus and plus or minus and minus, what you're going to do is to subtract. But if the signs are different, plus and minus or minus and plus, you want to add. Again, I'm going to repeat myself. So when you want to use the elimination method in solving simultaneous equation, you decide first which of the variable do I want to eliminate first. So we've chosen to eliminate p first, right? So the next thing you're going to do, check the coefficient, and the coefficient the same, 2 and 2. Yes. So now, how about their signs? Plus and plus, the same. Then what are we going to do? We subtract. If they are different, you're going to add. If they are the same, you will subtract. If they are different, you're going to add. If they are the same, you will subtract. That is negative, negative, or positive, positive. You will what? Subtract. But if they are different, you will add. So now they are the same. We are going to subtract. So we're going to have this now minus this. Then you rule your line. So what is 2p minus 2p? 2p minus 2p. That cancels out 2p automatically. 2p minus 2p equals 0. So 2p minus 2p cancelled out. No, not p. 2p is actually p plus p. Then minus 2p, which is like minus p plus p. So it's going to give you 0. You have 2p, exactly. You have 2p and now you are removing 2p. You have nothing left. So it's 0. 2p minus 2p will give you 0. Then what's the next thing? Minus m. Notice you have minus m, not just m. Minus m minus plus 4m. Minus m minus plus 4m. So this is what we have. We need 2p minus 2p. We got 0. If I like, I write the 0. If I like, just leave it. It's the same. So minus m minus plus 4m. This is it. Now, what is minus times plus? What is minus? Okay, Aisha says 3m. Okay, what is minus times plus? Okay, minus 5m, 3m. Okay, minus times plus. Thank you, Queen Menu. Minus. So minus times plus is minus. So that's minus m minus 4m. So now minus m minus 4m. Remember minus m, the coefficient is minus 1. So that's like minus 1m minus 4m. Minus 1m minus 4m. So I'm owing 1 and I'm also owing 4. In this case, I'm owing what? 5. I'm owing 1, I'm owing 4. So I'm owing 5. So minus 5m. So minus m minus plus 4m is minus 5m. Then what's the next one? We have our equal to. So 6. We have just 6 here. Minus 1. 6 minus 1. What is 6 minus 1? Of course, it's 5. Now we've been able to eliminate our p, and now this is what we have. We have minus 5m equals 5. Minus 5m equals 5. So what are we going to do? At this point, it becomes easy, alright? What are we going to do here? Minus 5 is the coefficient, exactly, yes. McDonald. So what are we going to do now? What are we going to do now? We divide both sides, okay, by the coefficient, which is what? Minus 5. So we'll divide both sides by minus 5. So over minus 5 and over minus 5. So minus 5 eliminates minus 5. And what we have? M equals, what is 5 divided by minus 5? 5 cancel 5, and that's minus 1. 5 here 1, 5 here 1, which is equals to minus 1. So we've gotten the value of m to be what? Minus 1. We're not done. Don't forget, we're solving this equation, and we're solving this equation, and we have two variables to be solved for. To solve for p, and also to solve for m. We've just gone halfway, which is to get the value of one of them, which is m in this case. Now we're going to use this value of m, insert it into this equation, probably equation 1 or equation 2, and use it to get the value of p. Good, let's get p. So now m is minus 1. Let's now use equation, let's put it into equation 1. Let's put it into the first one. So we're going to have, I have to wipe off this. Okay, so put in the value, or we say substitute in the value of m, into equation 1. Let's use equation 1. So we have, now the equation says 2p minus m equals 6. That's the equation, right? So now, but we've gotten m to be minus 1. So when you have m, put minus 1, right? When you have m, now you put minus 1. So it will give you 2p minus, this is our minus here. Then m now. M is what? Minus 1. So that's minus 1 equals 6. Now to avoid confusion, you want to put this in the bracket. Alright? So that's 2p minus m. And m is what? Minus 1. So minus 1 equals 6. Now minus times minus 1 is plus 1. So we have 2p plus 1 equals 6. 2p plus 1 equals 6. What's the next thing? We're going to collect like terms, right? We subtract 1 from both sides. Let's move 1 here. Plus 1 comes over, becomes minus 1. So you're going to have 2p equals 6 minus 1. Alima. So we're going to have 2p equals 6 minus 1. And that will give us what? That will give us 2p equals 5. And now we can get the value of p. How? Divide both sides by the coefficient of p, which is what? 2. Divide both sides, divide this side by 2, and divide this side also by 2. And therefore p will be equal to 5 over 2, and p equals 2 whole number 1 over 2. So we'll be able to solve for the value of m to be minus 1, and for the value of p to be 2 whole number 1 over 2, which is a 2.5. Now this is how you do elimination. I said we are going to try to solve p first. Alright, so we've done that. Now let's solve the same equations, the same pair of equations, but this time around let's eliminate m first and then use it to get the value of p. So let's do that. Can I wipe this? Let's try elimination. Exactly, yeah, Jalingo, that's what we want to do now. We want to eliminate m, then use the value to find the value of p. So let me rewrite the equation. We have 2p minus m equals 6. And 2p plus 4m equals 1. So this time around we want to eliminate m. What are the steps again? The steps are as follows. 1. Decide which of the variable you are going to eliminate first. Now we want to eliminate m. So we decided to eliminate hello AMT, no, we're solving simultaneous equations. So we are going to eliminate m in this case. Now what is the next thing? Check the coefficient. Check the coefficient of m in equation 1 and check the coefficient of m in equation 2. And then the same. The coefficient of m here is minus 1 and the coefficient of m here is plus 4. Minus 1 plus 4, so they are not the same. In the previous one we did, the coefficients were the same, 2 and 2. But here, they are not the same. So what are we going to do? We have to try to make them the same. How? We're going to use the LCM. So we're going to multiply this equation 1 by the coefficient of 4, yeah? By the coefficient of m here, which is plus 4, which is 4. Multiply equation 1 by 4 and multiply equation 2 by the coefficient of m here, which is what? 1. So multiply this by 4, multiply this by 1. So this will become equation 1 times 4 and equation what now? 2 times 1. The coefficient here is 4, the coefficient here is negative 1. So we multiply this one by 1, multiply this one by 4. Now, so let's do that. This multiplied by 4 and this multiplied by 1. So 4 times 2p will give us 8p. 4 times minus m will give us minus 4m. 4 times 6, that's equal to 24. Then 1 times 2p will give us 2p. 1 times 4m will give us plus 4m. 1 times this equals 1. So let's just call this equation 3 and equation 4. So we've been able to make them 4 and 4. Now what's the next thing? Check the signs. We have negative and we have positive. What did I say earlier on? Thank you, Chimakalu. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you. Yeah, hello. So, negative and positive. What did I say? I said if the signs are the same, we'll do what? We'll subtract. But if the signs are different, we'll do what? We add. If this were to be negative and negative, you add. Sorry, you subtract. Negative, negative. They are the same, you subtract. Negative, negative, subtract. Positive, positive, subtract. But negative and positive, or positive and negative, You do what? You add. Alright? Hello, Adapi Toby. Good evening to you. So we're going to add in this case. So it's going to be plus. So we're going to be adding, right? Why are we adding? Because these are different. If they were to be the same, I'm trying to repeat so that those that did not catch it the first time will get it this time. If they are different, so we're going to add. If they are the same, we'll subtract. Alright? Yes, AMT. So now 8p plus 2p will give us 10p. Minus 4m plus 4m plus, right? Plus is plus times plus. So minus 4m plus 4m is the same thing as saying minus 4m plus 4m. And minus 4m plus 4m minus 4 plus 4 is 0. It cancels out m. So this will cancel out this. Good, 0, thank you. So we have now equal to 24 plus 1. 24 plus 1, 25. So we have 10p equals 25. Yes, the m's cancel. So we have 10p now equals 25. 10p equals 25. So what's the next thing we're going to do? We need the value of p. We'll divide both sides by the coefficient of p, which is what? 10. So we'll divide by 10 and divide by 10. So this divided by 10 and this divided by 10. So 10 eliminates 10. And now we can get the value of p to be 25 over 10, which will give us 2.5 or 2 whole number 1 over 2. So p equals 25 over 10, which is equal to what? 2 whole number 1 over 2 or 2.5. Any of them would work. So did we understand this? Do we all understand? Okay, we're not done. We've just gotten the value of p. But do we understand how far we've gone so far? Do we understand? Spot on, okay? Do we understand? Do we understand? Eriki Doka says wrong. Okay, what is wrong? Dokas, what is wrong? Is that 3 in 8p? 3 in 8p? Which? Is that 3 in 8p? I don't understand. So check the answer. The answer, 25 over 10. Okay, how did I get that? 25 over 10, 5 here, 5 there, 2. 2 in 5, that's 2, with a remainder of 1 over 2. Yeah? Or you say 2.5 if you want to express it in decimal, so I hope that is okay. Dorcas, did you get that now? 2 whole number 1 over 2 or 2.5? Which was the same thing we got before. The same thing we got before. 2 whole number 1 over 2. So you see it's correct. Right? Okay, yeah, the same thing. Hello, Lawrence, welcome. Good evening. Okay, so any other one? Let's continue. So we've gotten the value of p. Let's now substitute this value of p to the, let's use equation 1 or equation 2. Anyone will work. So let's see what we are going to get for m. If it's going to be the same thing as what we got. Remember what we got before? Was it minus 1? Yes, let's see. So p is, let's use any of them. Let's use equation 2. So 2p plus 4m equals 1. That's the equation. And the value of p we got was, which of them should we use now? Let's use the decimal, let's use this, or should we just change to 5 over 2? Any of them we can use. Let's use 2.5. At least with that we can get whole numbers. So 2 times 2.5 plus 4m equals 1. 2 times 2.5 will give us 5. 2.5 times 2 will give us 5. So that's 5 plus 4m equals 1. So we have subtract 5 from both sides. That's take 5 over, right? Then you have 4m equals 1 minus 5. 4m equals 1 minus 5. Then what's the next thing we're going to get? The next thing we're going to get will be 4m equals what? What is 1 minus 5? What is 1 minus 5? 1 minus 5 is what? No, not no, 1 minus 5, I mean. Pasilo said minus 4. Okay, good. Abigail, hello. So that's minus 4. Now, what is the value of m? The value of m would be equal to minus 4 over 4, which is what? Minus 1. Did we get this? Now, this is how to solve, what's it called now? simultaneous linear equation using the elimination method. So you've seen that you can actually start with any of them. Eliminate one, get the other one, or eliminate the other and get the other one, and then use it to get the other one. You want us to use substitution now? Okay, no, let's try another example yet for elimination, then later we switch over to substitution. Okay, now let's move on to example number 2. If you're writing, please, we have to write fast because of time. So example number 2, let me get another one here. Example number 2, this one says x plus 2y equals 1. X plus 2y equals 1 and x minus y equals 2. So x plus 2y equals 1 and x minus y equals 2. It's very clear. Thank you. Okay. So x plus 2y equals 1 and x minus y equals 2. So we are looking for the values of x and also for the value of y, right? X and y. So again, using the elimination method. Which do you want us to eliminate first? X or y? Which do you want us to eliminate first? X or y? Okay, empty, say we subtract. Okay, it depends on what we want to eliminate. Which do you want us to eliminate first? Gabriel says X, Aisha says C, Aisha C. X, Y, X, Y. Okay, smiling emoji for X and the crying emoji for Y. The smiling emoji for X and the crying emoji for Y. The smiling, because I'm going to solve just once here. The smiling emoji for X and the crying emoji for Y. Smiling emoji for X and the crying emoji for Y. The smiling emoji for X and the crying emoji for Y. Okay, the smiling emoji for X and the crying emoji for Y. Okay, we're having more people going for X, okay. Still on X, more of X than Y. Okay, so let's solve for X. Just once, okay? Then 6, ends in 9 seconds, ends in 8 seconds, 7 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, 11 till 7. Okay, so we're going to solve X first. We're going to eliminate X first, alright? So, trying to eliminate X first. What's the next thing we're going to do? Check their coefficient. The coefficient, are they the same? See, 1 here and 1 here. So, good. What's the next thing? The sign. Positive, positive. Both of them positive, positive. Positive 1, positive 1. So, what are we going to do? When they are the same, positive, positive, or negative, negative, we do what? We subtract. But if they are different, positive, negative, or negative, positive, we do what? We add. Okay? So what are we going to do now? We're going to subtract. So let's subtract. Now, x minus x. So x minus x. X minus x. It's fake here, I noticed. X minus x. It's not a warning, don't mind it. It's some useless fellow. So x minus x, it's 0, right? Cancelled out. So it's 0. This cancel out this. So 2y minus minus y. 2y minus minus y. 2y minus minus y. 2y minus minus y will give us 2y plus y. 2y plus y, and that's 3y. Okay. So we have 3y equals 1 minus 2. 1 minus 2. 1 minus 2. Yeah, 3y. So what is 1 minus 2? 1 minus 2. Minus 1. Because I have 1 and I'm owing 2. Then I give the 1 that I have. I'm still owing 1. And that means minus 1. Okay. So 3y equals minus 1. So now for me to get the value of y, I will have to divide both sides by the coefficient, which is 3. So over 3 over 3. 3 eliminates 3, and y equals minus 1 over 3. So that's the value of y, minus 1 over 3. What are we going to do next? What's the next thing to be done? What's the next thing to be done? Solomon, are you just coming in? Okay, I'll go over when I'm done. What's the next thing to be done? Hello, welcome. Put in the value of y, okay? Okay, Aliman, noted. So eliminate the minus. No, that we're done with x, we're done with y, we've gotten the value of y. The value of y is negative 1 over 3. Substitute it into work out exactly. So we are going to substitute for this value of y into the equation. We are going to try to get the value of x now, because we've been able to get the value of y, okay? So we still need the value of x. Now how do we do that? We're going to put this value of y into any of the equation, right, to get x. So let's use equation 1. So using equation, let me see. So put in the value of y, or substitute for the value of y into equation 1. Equation 1 says x plus 2y equals 1. So that's equation 1. Now where you have 1, you want to put in this value that we've gotten to be for y. So where you have y, put in this thing. So you have x plus 2y, which is in brackets negative 1 over 3 equals 1. Do we understand? Do you understand? Hello, the capital, welcome. Do you understand? Zen word, I hope you understand. Do we understand? I hope everybody is following. Okay. Okay. Now what's the next thing? We're going to multiply these two, right? Multiply 2 by minus 1 over 3. So what is 2 times minus 1 over 3? Yelivian love, I hope you understand. Okay, so what is 2 times minus 1 over 3? 2 times minus 1 over 3 is equal to minus 2 over 3, because 2 times minus 1 is negative 2 over 3. So negative 2 over 3. Yes, please. Okay, thank you. Thank you, the captain. As long as say you to the understand. Alright, let's continue. So we have x plus 2 into brackets negative 1 over 3 bracket minus equals 1 will give us what? Alima, are you done with this side? Are you done? Are we still writing here? Can I wipe it off? Yes, okay. So we have x minus 1 over 3. Sorry, 2 over 3, because 2 times 1 over 3 will give us 2 over 3. So equals 1. So x minus 2 over 3 equals 1. Then what's the next thing we're going to do? Larex, you don't understand. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is to collect like terms. Move this number to go and meet this number. So we're going to have x equals 1 plus 2 over 3. X equals 1 plus 2 over. Sorry, sir, what's the price for a bigger whiteboard? Ricky Docas, I checked, and a bigger board with a stand will cost about 55,000. Between 50-55. Okay, Larex, between 50-55. So x equals 1 plus 2 over 3. Now let's solve for this one. 1 plus 2 over 3, what is it going to give us? So don't forget that 1 is the same thing as 1 over 1. So it's like we're solving addition of fraction here, right? So the LCM. What's the LCM of 1 and 3? LCM of 1 and 3 is 3. So 1 in 3, or we say 3 divided by 1. That's 3. 3 times 1 is 3. Then plus 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. So that will give us 3 plus 2, which is 5 over 3. Larex, that's 5 over 3. So that will give us x now. X, okay, x to be equal to 5 over 3. Which will give us what? 1 whole number 2 over 3. That's it. So y minus 1 over 3 and x 1 over 2 over 3. So we're done. Yes, Dolly Penny 5 over 3. Also correct. Yes. Thank you. Now that is that with that. That is that with that. We're going to take one more, and after this we're going to switch to substitution method. All right, one more. So example number 3, still with elimination method. Example number 3, still with elimination method. Okay, we have 4p plus 3p plus 2q equals 7. Then we have 4p plus 3q equals 10. Okay, so those are the two equations that we have. 3p plus 2q equals 7 and 4p plus 3q equals 10. Alright, so these equations and inequalities, they confuse too much. Please, if you don't understand, when I ask, do we understand? Let me know so I don't wipe it off and then we're going to come later and say I don't understand. Alright, please. So we want to solve this one now. Now over to us. Which are we to eliminate first? Are we to eliminate the P first or the Q first? Please pay attention. Okay, I will try to go slowly here with example 3 to see if we can get it now. So which are we eliminating first? The P first or the Q first? Legit says P, Gabriel says P. Are you only using elimination method? Yes, Bukola for now. Before we're going to switch over to substitution. Vicarian says P first. Okay, so we're going to eliminate P now. Alright. Again, I said, what are the steps to using? What are the steps, alright, in using elimination method? Decide which you are going to eliminate, right? So we decided on P. What's the next thing? Check the coefficient. And they're the same. In this case, we're having 3 and we're having 4, so they're not the same. So if they're not the same, no, Alima, we're not having English today. Actually, I don't actually get the last part of question 2. Question 2, I think this is the last part, yes, for X. This. So it's still here. So which part do we want to eliminate? Which of the variable? We said P. The next thing is to what? Check their coefficient. This is 3, this is 4. So they are not the same. They are not the same, right? So what are we going to do? We'll try to make them the same. Now, how do we do that? How do we do that? Someone help us. So how are we going to try to make both of them the same? Now this is 3 and this is 4. How are we going to make them the same? Alima, pay attention. Gabriel says multiply. Okay, multiply by, I guess you want to say multiply. Multiply by what? Thank you, MT. Multiply by what? Okola, multiply. By 12. Gabriel, by the coefficient. Legit vibe says add. Okay. By 3 and 4. Okay, Bukola. So we are going to multiply equation 1 by the coefficient of P here, which is 4. And we're going to multiply equation 2 by the coefficient of P here, which is 3. We'll multiply equation 1 by the coefficient of P, which is 4, and equation 2 by the coefficient of P, which is 3. Multiply the first equation with 4 and second by examine. So if you have, let me get another one. Before I move on, let me to show this also. So we have 2x plus 5y. 2x plus 5y equals 8. And 3x minus 5y 3x minus 5y equals 12. So assuming that we are to solve for, we want to eliminate x here. As we want to eliminate x here, what are we going to multiply by? Assuming we want to eliminate x first in this pair of equations. So what are we going to multiply by? Multiply by 4, okay. Yeah. So what are we going to multiply by in this one? Nicholas says 2n. First one, 3 by 8. Nicholas says 3 by 2. Multiply equation 1 by 3. Equation 1 by 3 and equation 2 by 2. Equation 1 by 3, equation 2 by 2. Okay. You're going to multiply equation 1 by the coefficient of that variable in equation 2. That means, for example, I want to eliminate x. What is the coefficient of x here is 2. What is the coefficient of x here is 3. So for me to make them the same, I'm going to multiply all this by 3. And I'm going to multiply all this by 2. That's it. So the same thing here, I want to eliminate p. So I'm going to multiply all this by 4, which is the coefficient of p here. And I'm going to multiply all of this one here by 3, which is the coefficient of p there. I hope you understand. Again, if I want to eliminate q, if I were to eliminate q in this equation, so the first thing I will do is to make what? The coefficient the same, right? So how do I go about that? I have to multiply all this by 3, which is the coefficient of q here, and multiply all this by 2, which is the coefficient of q here. So you multiply equation, for me to, coming back to p now, so I'm going to multiply equation 1 by 4, which is the coefficient of p here, and equation 2 by 3, which is the coefficient of p in equation 1. Are we following? Did we get that? Did we get that? Did we get that? If you got that, can I see thumbs up? Can I see thumbs up? Yes, okay, good. If you got what I just said now, can I see thumbs up? Alima, did you get it? Did you get it? Eriki, good. Well, okay, good. Money, okay, good. Yeah, sure, it's going to be on YouTube. Okay, good. Alright, let's continue. So you're going to multiply. For you to eliminate p, you multiply equation 1 by what the coefficient is in equation 2, and you multiply equation 2 by what the coefficient is in equation 3, which is 3. So multiply all of these by 4, and multiply all of these by 3. Now what is 3p times 4? That's 12p. Then plus 2q times 4, that's plus 8q. Equal to 7 times 4, 28. Now what is 4p times 3? See you in the next, okay. What's 4p times 3? 12p. What is plus 3q times 3? Plus 3q times 3. That's plus 9q, right? Plus 9q. What is 10 times 3? 10 times 3, 30. Now, so at this point, we can now go to the next stage. What's the next stage? Are we going to add or subtract? Remember, we want to eliminate p. Are we going to add or are we going to subtract? Add or subtract? Add or subtract? Jalingo says subtract. We subtract. 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 The cat says add. Subtract. 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 Add. Subtract. Subtract. Add. Adobe. Add. Because that's subtract. Subtract. Infinity. Okay, I said whenever. Now this is what we want to eliminate, right? P. The signs here are at positive, positive. That's plus and plus, right? And positive, positive. Plus and plus. So we're going to, whenever they are the same, whether they are plus and plus or minus and minus, both of them are positive numbers or both of them are negative numbers, what you are going to do is to subtract. But if they are different, like one is positive and one is negative, or one is negative and the other is positive, you add. Alright? But if they are the same, like positive, positive, like in this case, This one also, as we want to eliminate Q now, both of them positive, you will subtract. Positive, now we want to eliminate P, we subtract. But if they are different, like positive and negative or negative and positive, you add. Why? I said, okay, let's just try to add. In this case now, both of them are plus and plus. So let's try. Is that 30 or 50? This is 30, please. 10 times 3. That's 10 times 3. 50. It's not 30. So let's try to add and see that it will not be eliminated. So if we are to add, the purpose of all of this is for us to eliminate this, right? So if you are to add, you have just messed up the whole process, right? So it means at the end of the day, you were not still able to eliminate it. What will happen is that you're going to have 12p plus 12p, which is going to give you 24p, and it means that p has not been eliminated. So and then you're going to have 8q plus 9q to give you what? Plus 17q equals what? 28 plus 30 equals 50. You've just compounded the whole issue. You just added another equation with the both both variable in it. Good. So what we do is to subtract. We're going to subtract. So now subtract. So 12p minus 12p. It's a y17. Y17. No, that was plus. Now, are you following at all? That was when you have plus. 12p plus 12p will give you 24p, right? 8p plus 9p will give you 17p. That was addition. Do you do online class for? Yes, I do, because I do. So 12p plus 12p will give you 24p. 8q plus 9q will give you 7. But that's not what we are supposed to do. We are not supposed to add. We're supposed to subtract. It is only in subtraction that this p will now be eliminated. Yeah, thank you, Alex. So now 12p minus 12p. 12p minus 12p. 0. So we've been able to eliminate p. 12p minus 12p. So cancelled out because it's 0. Exactly, 12p cancel each other. So what do we have now? We're going to have 8q minus 9q. Okay, 8q minus plus 9q. 8q minus plus 9q. Of course, minus times plus is minus. So it's the same thing as 8q minus 9q. So what is 8q minus 9q? What is 8q minus 9q? 8q minus 9. No, Gabriel favor, not minus 1. Don't forget your q. 1q. No, not 1q. Ricky Dockers, no minus 1. If I said 8 minus 9, that's minus 1. But I said 8q minus 9q. 9q, no. Q, no. Let me write it out. 8q minus 9q is like asking 8 minus 9. Alright? What is 8 minus 9? Then you add your q. Alright? Q, which represents. So 8q minus 9q. Minus 9q minus 9. 1q, no. So remember again, 7 minus no. If your number is plus, if you're having plus, like I am having 8, I am owing 9 minus plus 1q, not 9. I have 8 and I'm owing 9. Of course, I have to pay what I owe. Hello, Nurse Aduna. Good evening. Good evening to you. Welcome. So, I have 8. I am owing 9. I have to pay what I owe, right? So from the 8 that I have, I give, and I'm still owing 1 more. So minus 1q is the answer, which is minus q. Exactly, yes. Minus q, that's it. Yes, Bukola, yes, minus q. Yes, Radio Empire, that's minus q. Minus q, yes. So 8q minus 9q is minus q. Alright? Hello, Florine. So we have minus q. Minus q. Of course, that's minus 1q, right? But in algebra, q is the same thing as 1q. So minus q is the same thing as minus 1q. Okay? So now equals 28 minus 30. 28 minus 30 minus 2, thank you. I have 28, let's say naira. I have 28 naira and I'm owing 30 naira. So you have to pay what you owe. You give the 28 naira you have, you're still owing 2. So minus 2, minus O, plus have, and O, plus have. That makes it easier to get, right? So I have 28 and I'm owing 30, right? So if I give the 28 that I have, I'm still owing 2, which is minus 2. So minus Q equals minus 2. Now what we need is the value of Q and not negative Q. We need Q. So what are we going to do? Divide both sides by minus 1. Exactly. Why? Because the coefficient of Q here is minus 1. So we're going to divide both sides by minus 1. Minus 1. So minus 1, cancel out the minus 1 here, and now Q equals, what is minus 2 divided by minus 1? Minus 2 divided by minus 1. Minus cancel minus, 2 divided by 1, 2. So Q equals 2. So Q equals 2. And now we've just solved one of the variable for one of the variables. We can now solve for the other one. So we've gotten the value of Q. Now what's the next thing? What are we going to do next? What are we going to do next? What's the next thing to be done? What are we going to do next? I am waiting. What are we going to solve for P? Okay, so how do we solve for P? Normally it says substitute. Okay, so what are we going to substitute? Put Q in equation 1. Put Q. How do we say it now? Using the Q answer, that's here. So substitute for the value of Q. In other words, the answer you got for Q, you say, that's how we say it. We say put in the value of Q, right? Or substitute for the value of Q. That's what Q represents into whatever equation, right? So put in the value of Q, or say substitute, right? Substitute for the value of Q into equation what? Equation 1, equation 2, equation 1. So substitute for the value of Q into equation 1. And what is the equation 1? This is equation 1. The equation says 3P plus 2Q equals 7. And for Q we got 2. So where you have Q now, you want to put 2, right? So you're going to have 3P plus 2. 2Q means 2 times Q. So that's 2 times 2. So 2 bracket 2 equals 7. 3P plus 2 bracket 2 equals 7. Now what's the next thing? Multiply this. 2 times 2, 4. So we have 3P plus 4 equals 7. Then we subtract 4 from both sides. That's take 4 over. So you have 3P equals 7 minus 4. And what's 7 minus 4? Exactly, clear the bracket. So what's 7 minus 4? 7 minus 4 is 3. So 3P equals 3. Yeah, well, I like this. So 3P equals 7 minus 4, 3. And what's the next thing? For us to get the value of P now, we'll divide both sides by the coefficient of P, which is 3. Okay, we'll be wrapping up by 11. What's the time now? It's 10:25. So divide by 3, divide by 3. So P and 3 eliminates 3, and P equals 3 over 3, which is what? 1. That's the answer. So we've been able to solve this, and we got 1 as the value of P and 2 as the value of Q. And you can always check. You can always check if what you did was the correct thing. You can check how. Put in the value of P and the value of Q into any of the equation and see if you're going to get the correct answer, if you're going to get the correct thing. So assuming now I know that my P is 1 and my Q is 2. So let's put P here 1 and Q here 2 and see if it will give us 7. Let's do that. So I have 3P, which means 3 times 1, and 2Q, which means 2 times 2. So what is 3 times 1? 3. plus, what is 2 times 2? 4. 3 plus 4. Yeah, correct. So we are right. Equals 7. You're welcome. Now let's move on to substitution method. Substitution method. Substitution method. Start with this one. Let me try and start with this one. So that's still fresh in our mind. To see if we're going to get the same value. 4p substitution. Examples. Number 1. So we have 4p plus 3q equals 10. Thank you. 4p plus 3q equals 10, and 3p plus 2q equals 7. So this time around we want to use substitution. Now what's substitution method about? Substitution method is you, thank you Naomi for the rules, thank you. Substitution method is you making any of them. Do you do home coaching? Private class? Yes. I do private online class. So substitution method involves you, either you're starting with P or you're starting with Q. So make P the subject of the formula, alright? Then get the value of P there, insert it into equation 2. Or you want to start with Q. Make Q the subject of the formula, then get the value of Q, insert it into equation 2. Or you start with equation 2 and insert it into equation 1. You don't want to make, thank you Tim Makado, thank you for the finger art. You don't want to make P the subject of the formula in equation 1 and then insert again, no. Make P the subject of the formula in equation 1 and then substitute for that value into equation 2. Plug it into equation 2. Thank you, Ade. So make P the subject of the formula in equation 1, put it into equation 2. Or make Q the subject of the formula in equation 1, put it into equation 2. Or make P the subject of the formula in equation 2, put it into equation 1. That's what we call substitution, right? So I'll make Q the subject of the formula. I'm in Anambra State. I'm in Nigeria, Anambra State. So I'll make Q the subject of the formula in equation 2 and put it into equation. Your choice. Alright? Where am I now? I'm in Anambra State, yeah. So let me make P first. Alright? So you want to look at the equations and consider the one that will be easier. Which, if I should make P the subject of the formula, I'm going to have a fraction, an algebraic fraction. Yeah, I think I'm going to have, in fact, whether P or Q is going to give me an algebraic fraction, no problem. Let's solve. So let's start with making P. Thank you. Let's start with making P the subject of the formula for equation 1. So this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. So making P the subject of the formula, I'm going to have 4P equals 10. Plus 3q will go over, that's I'm going to be subtracting 3q from both sides, right? So plus 3p will go over and then become what? Minus 3p. So you're going to have minus 3p. Again, we want to make p the subject of the formula, not 4p. So what do? We have to divide by 4. Divide by 4. Why can't we just try it ourselves? Okay, I'm going to give an exercise after this, alright? So divide by 4, divide by 4. So you have over 4 and you have over 4. So 4 cancel out 4, and now P equals 10 minus 3P. This is Q, sorry. So minus 3Q over 4. So we've been able to make P the subject of the formula. It's just like when you're using the elimination method, when you get the value of P, you plug it into one of the equation and get the value of Q, right? So this is like a temporal value of P. Now plug it into one of the equation, right? Yes, notice, because yes, Q, I think that's itself P. So get this value of P now, put it into equation 2, where you have P here, put it into this place, right? So instead of 3P, you now have 3 times this, and then you can solve. That's going to give you the value of Q first, right? The real value or the true value of Q. Now you're going to use this true value of Q now, bring it back to equation 1, and then solve for the value of P. So let's see how that goes. So we are having P equals this, right? Now substitute for the value or the temporal value of P, temporal value of P into 6. Again, if you started with equation 1, you are substituting into equation 2. If you started with equation 2, you are substituting into equation 1. Alright, so we started with equation 1, now we're going to substitute it into equation 2. So into 2, equation 2, alright? So let's put this value into equation 2. Now equation 2 says 3p plus 2q equals 7. So now where we have p here, I hope I can wipe this off. So where we have p, you're going to have 3 into bracket. When you have p, you now put this thing 10 minus 3q all over 4 plus 2q equals 7. Equals 7. So this is where we are now. Now what's the next thing? Good evening, Abu Barry. I have to open up my bracket, right? I'm going to be using this 3 to multiply everything I have in the bracket. To multiply what's in the bracket, right? So this is like saying, by the way, this is like saying 3 times 10 minus 3q over 4. That's what it is. So this 3 will be multiplying everything here as a fraction. So now 3 times 10, 30. 3 times minus 3q, minus 9q over 4 plus 2q equals 7. Now what's the next thing? I want to try to eliminate this fraction that I have here. I want to eliminate this fraction. Now how do I go about doing this? There are 2 ways. It's either I first subtract 2q from both sides and it will give me 30 minus 9q. I want to show us a faster way, right? So 30 minus 9q over 4 equals 7 minus 2q. Now when I have this, I will then cross multiply, right? Cross multiply by 4. But let's do this. Let's just multiply through by this denominator we have here. Multiply through, yes, we cross multiply at that point. Let's multiply through by 4. Alright, let's multiply through. It's the same thing we are going to be doing, but just not to confuse us. Alright, let's just do that. So we're going to have 30 minus 9q over 4 equals 7 minus 2q. Alright, so cross multiply. Then at the end of the day, we're going to have 30 minus 9q equals 4 will be multiplying what we have here. So 4 bracket 7 minus 2q. So what do we have? 30 now minus 9q equals 4 multiplying this, which is 7 minus 2q, please. So we have 30 minus 9q equals 4 times 7, 28. 4 times minus 2q, minus 8q. Now what's the next thing? We're going to collect like this, right? We have 9q, we have q. So we're going to collect like this. Where do we collect the q's? Should we collect the q's on the left hand side, or should we collect the q's on the other side, bring the numbers? Okay, let's collect the q's there and bring 28 over to 30. Take minus 9q over there. So we're going to have 30, then subtract 28, that's bring 28 over. You have minus 28 equals, on this side what we have is minus 8q. Take note, it's not just 8q, minus 8q, right? So now, but on this side we have minus 9q. Okay, what was on the right hand side? If fine. Okay, on the right, yeah, that's what we're doing. So minus 9q. So if it goes there, it becomes what? Plus 9q. Good. So we're going to have minus 8q plus 9q. So 30 minus 28 equals minus 8q plus 9q. 30 minus 28, 2. 2 equals minus 8q plus 9q. Minus 8q. What's plus minus 8q? Thank you, official. Thank you. What is minus 8q plus 9q? Good. Minus 8 plus 9. Right? In this case, I'm going 8. I have 9. So give out of the 9 that I have, give out 8 to pay, and I still have 1. So plus q, which is q. So 2 equals q, which is the same thing as q equals 2. And now we've gotten the value of q to be what? 2. You see, when I started, I said elimination method is shorter, right? This is just we trying to get the value of 1, which we've just done. We've gotten the value of q to be 2. Now we're going to substitute now for this true value of q, the real value of q, into equation. Let's start with equation 1. We put into equation 1 to get the value of the second variable, which is what? P. So I hope we're following. Don't clean, all right? I hope we're following. I hope we're following. Tricia says not really. Okay, we're going to still take one more example. Sabrina says yes. Okay. Dorcas, are you done? Are you done? Yes. Can you explain before the cross multiply? Before the cross multiply. That's this point. Okay, what we did here was to open up this bracket. So that was 3 multiplied this thing we have here. That's 3 times this, which is 3 times 10, 30. 3 times minus 3p minus 9q over 4, right? So plus 2q equals 7, equals 7. Then what's the next thing? Alright, take 2q over here, then subtract 2q, becomes minus 2q. So 7 minus 2q, that's what we have. And then we cross multiply. So that's this multiplies this. So this multiplies this and this multiplies. This is like over 1. So it multiplies this. So 30 minus 9q give us our 30 minus 9q times 1 rather. So equal to now 4 times this. That's what we have here. 4 bracket 7 minus 2q. So 30 minus 9q equals 4 times 7, 28. 4 times minus 2q minus 8q. And that's it. So now let's move on to get the value of p. Substituting now. Substitute for the value of q into equation 1. And equation 1 says 4p plus 3q equals 10. So now what's our q? 2. So where you have q, put in 2. Thank you. PNT coming in. Thank you. Thank you for the roses. So where you have q, put in 2. So that's going to give you 4p plus 3 bracket 2 plus 3q again means 3 times q, which is 3 times 2 in this case. So equals 10. 4p plus 3 bracket 2 bracket close equals 10. And then you have 4p plus 3 times 2, 6 equals 10. So 4p plus 6 equals 10. 4p plus 6 equals 10. Okay, we're already getting the answers of what? David. So what's the next thing? Collect items. Move 6 over. Subtract 6, right? So you're going to have 4p now equals 10 minus 6. Let me write it here. So 4p equals 10 minus 6. And 4p equals, what is 10 minus 6? 4. Of course, at this point we divide both sides by the coefficient, which is 4. So divide 4, divide 4. 4 cancels 4, and p equals 1. That's it. Thank you again, P&T Committee. Thank you. So this is how to use the substitution method, which is longer, all right? But both will give you the answers, the values for your variables. In this case, P and Q. We use the elimination method, we got the same answer, right? 2 and 1. Use the substitution method, the same answer. So whatever method you choose to use, your choice, you arrive at the same solution. So now let's try one more example, one more on this. Okay, we are going to use this. We are going to solve this one on our own. We're going to solve this first, then I will solve. Let me wipe this. So the next example of substitution, number 2, we have x plus y equals 8, and the second one says 4x minus y equals 2. 4x minus y equals 2. 4x minus y equals 2. All right, let's try this out. Let's try substitution method on this. Let's try substitution method. Check Q well. Check Q well. Yeah, Q, we got 2. Abdul. So let's try substitution method on this. Let's solve this. Let's solve this. X plus y equals 8, equation 1, and 4x minus y equals 2, equation 2. Find the value of x and the value of y. Using substitution method, and then we're going to try, again, we're going to try elimination method on this. But let's start with substitution method. So are we working it out? Are we working it out? Okay, well, it's done. Y equals 10 and x equals minus 2. Y equals 10 and x equals minus 2. Okay, we're waiting for others. We're waiting for others. All right, Trisha. Okay. Not in Nigeria. No, you don't need to be in Nigeria. You can be anywhere in the world, as long as it's online. Just have your phone and you have your data, and you can connect. Just like we're having now. Most of the classes will be on Zoom, so it's still online. But it's not live. It's not public like this one. So it's just for those that will get the link to the class. So if you are in this group, whenever we're going to have class, maybe 2 times or 3 times in a week, we share the link in the group, and then when it's time for class, use the link, you come to class. Okay, P&T comment. Are we done? Are we done? Are we done? Yeah, Abubari, I've seen yours. You said y equals 10 and x equals minus 2. I've written it down, so I'm waiting for the answers. I'm waiting for others. No? Okay, that's not yours. Let me see. Okay, Abubari, I did not get yours. I did not get yours. Are we done? Are we done? Are we done? Let's see what we got as our answer. Let's see what we got. How will I get the link? Okay, that's if you send me. When you send me your message, I'll get your number. Alright, so then you'll be in the WhatsApp group. So whenever we have the class, I'll send the link in the group. And then with the link, everybody can come in. That's my answers. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Were you talking about sending me a message? Just send me a message after the class. I'll see the message and I'll reply you. Just one person has given the answer. I'm waiting for others. Are we solving? I want to be sure that. Okay, yeah. Log says check my answers. Log, I've not seen your answers. Put them in the chat. want to change your answer. Did you see my answers now? No, it's not, Barry, it's not coming up. Maybe you want to type it out in words. Maybe you want to type it in words. Maybe TikTok is not allowing it. Okay, well, I did not see the new one though. I did not see the new one. Yeah, thank you. Y is 6, okay? Y is 6. How about for X? What's the answer for X, Barry? X is 2, okay. X is 2, Y is 6. Hello, Teresa. Yay, it's been a while. Yeah, welcome. Good evening to you. I'm the one that gave the one on the board. Okay, well, you gave this. All right, what's your new answer? X is 2, Y is 6, Barry. Noted. X is 2, Y is 6. Okay. Well, are you going with that answer too? My answers are y, X is 2, Y is 6 log. Okay. X 2, Y 6. Okay. Write down my, okay. X equals 2 and Y equals 6. The same thing for log. Same thing for log. Thanks. You're welcome. Okay, we are going to solve them now. 2 and 6, the fearless. 2 and 6. Okay. Now let's solve. Let's see if we are correct. Using what? The substitution method. Alright, so starting with equation 1, I look at this and I see this is kind of similar. Alright. Make X the subject of the formula. I decide to make Y the subject of the formula. Oh, really? Okay, good. Make X, I want to make X the subject of the formula. I can also choose to make Y the subject of the formula. Alright. Then put it into equation 2, or make X the subject of the formula like I'm going to do now, then put it into equation 2. So from equation 1, X plus Y equals 8. So if I should make X the subject of the formula, I'm going to have X equals 8 minus Y. So X equals 8 minus Y. Now I have been able to make X the subject of the formula, so I have a temporal value for X now, right? That I can now plug into equation 2 or substitute into equation 2. So now solve for the value. So substitute for the temporal value of X into equation 2. So equation 2 says 4x minus y equals 2. Now what's that value for x? It says 8 minus y, right? So where you have x here, put it in. Where you have x to be 8 minus y. So where you have 4x, you now have 4 times 8 minus y. Minus y equals. So this is what we have, 4x minus y, and x is 8 minus y. So 4, this which is our x, minus y equals 2. Now we have to expand this bracket. Temporary, yeah, thank you. Temporary. So now we have to expand this bracket. So 4 times 8, 32. 4 times minus y, minus 4y. Let me wipe up this bracket. So we have 42, or rather 32. Y times minus 4, minus 4y. Minus y, so 32 minus 4y minus y equals 2. 4 times 8, 32. 4 times minus y minus 4y minus y equals 2. So these two are like them, so we can operate on both of them. So what is minus 4y minus y? Minus 4y minus y. That's like minus 4y minus 1y. So I am owing 4 in this case. I'm also owing 1. So I'm owing 5, right? So minus 5y. So we have 32 minus 5y equals 2. Then what do? Let's subtract 32 from both sides. Take 32 over, you have minus 5y or we can decide to take y over. Let's just leave it there. 2 minus 32. So minus 5y equals 2 minus 32. Yeah, like them. So we have what? Minus 5y equals 2 minus 32 minus 30. So I have 2 and I'm owing 32. If I give the 2 that I have, I'm still owing 30, which is minus 30. Now I need the value of y. So what am I going to do? I'm going to divide both sides by minus 5. Right? So over minus 5 and over minus 5. So this cancel this, and y equals minus 30 divided by minus 5. Minus cancel minus. 30 divided by 5, 6. So that's the value of y, 6. Yeah, y equals 6. Okay, so how about x? Now we'll have to substitute for the value of x now, which is 6, into equation 1. So substitute for the value of y into equation 1. And what's equation 1 again? Equation 1 is x plus y equals 8. X plus y equals 8. And what is our y? Our y is 6, right? So when you have y, put in 6. And that will be x plus 6 equals 8. And so x equals 8 minus 6. What's 8 minus 6? 2. So x equals 2. And finally, we've gotten our answers. x2, y6. Good. So all the answers were correct. Yeah. Well done. Yeah, well done. Barry, you are so correct. Yeah, that's your answer. Log, yeah, correct. The fearless, good. Well done. DNT comedy, did you get it? Did you get it? Yes. Dockers, did you get it? Yeah, thank you, Team Akalu. Thank you for the rules again. Sure. Oh, great. Okay. Good. Now, let's try using the same equations. Let's try the elimination method. Let's see if we are going to get the same answer, 2 and 6. Thank you, PNT comedy. Thank you for the process. Let's see if we are going to get the same answer. For this time, elimination method. So the question 1 says x plus y equals 8. And equation 2 says 4x minus y. Yeah, 4x minus y equals 2. Let's try, okay, I guess we're going to get the same. Okay, Bukola said she used the elimination method. What time are you going to close the class? We're closing like any moment from now. This is the last example and I give assignments, alright? And it's correct. Yes, you should get the same answer, okay. Alright, let's see. So elimination method. Which one do I want to eliminate first? I can choose to eliminate y first. Why? Because both of them are having the same 1, 1. Just that this is positive, this is negative, but both of them are 1, 1. So that will be faster for me, right? If I choose to eliminate x first, this is 1, this is 4. So I have to first multiply this one by 4 and then multiply this one by 1. I have to multiply all of this by 4 because the coefficient of x here is 4, and multiply all of this by 1 because the coefficient of x here is 1. So when I'm done with that, before I can now check my plus and minus and know if I'm going to add or subtract. But both of them are already 1 and 1. No, not tomorrow. We're coming back on Wednesday, not tomorrow. We come up live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So Mondays 9 p.m., Wednesdays and Fridays 8 p.m. So I want to eliminate y now. So this is plus, this is minus. So let me ask us, what am I going to do? Am I going to add? Am I going to subtract? Am I going to add? Am I going to subtract? Add or subtract? Alabed says add. AMT say I added. Wealth add. Okay. I added. Okay. Good. Remember, when they are the same, you do what? Subtract. Whether positive, or negative, you subtract. But when they are different, like you can see, this is addition, this is subtraction. So you are going to what? You're going to add. Good. So now let's add. X plus 4x will give us 5x. Plus y plus minus y. That's y plus minus y. plus times minus is minus, so y minus y. So that will give us y minus y, which cancels out the y because it equals to 0. So this out equal to 8 plus 2, 10. 8 plus 2, 10. Then what's the next thing? The value of x. Divide by 5, divide by 5. 5 cancel 5, and x equals 2. So you see how short the elimination method is? Quickly we've gotten the value of x to be 2. Now what's the next thing? We are going to now substitute for the value of x into any of the equation. So solve for the value of x into which of them? This is simpler. Let's use equation 1. Into equation 1. So that's x plus y equals 8. P&T says come again. Okay. Now this is elimination we are doing. Okay, I'm going to explain. Let me go back. So these are the equations we are trying to solve, right? You decide. First thing you do is to check which of them I want to eliminate. Am I going to eliminate multiplication? Am I going to eliminate x, or am I going to eliminate y? So, but looking at what I have here, the coefficient of y are already 1 and 1, right? Positive 1 and minus 1. So I decided to eliminate y because that will be faster. If I decide to eliminate x, look at x here, the coefficient is 1, and x here, the coefficient is 4. They are not the same. So it will mean that I will have to multiply all of this by 4 and multiply all of this by 1 for me to make them the same. By the time I multiply this by 4, this will give me 4x, and multiply this by 1, it's still 4x. So then I can now eliminate, right? But these are already 1 and 1. So the next thing I want to check, the signs. This is addition and minus. So I ask myself, so am I going to add or am I going to subtract? Again, I repeat, whenever the signs are the same, you will what? Subtract. But when the signs are different, you will add. In other words, when this is addition and addition, or subtraction and subtraction, you will what? Subtract. But when it is addition and subtraction, like in this case, or subtraction and addition, you will add. When they are different, add. When they are the same, subtract. So we added because they are different. So now x plus 4x give us 5x. Plus y plus minus y. Plus y, which is y, plus minus y. Plus times minus will give us minus. So y minus y, it's 0. So y has been cancelled out. Equal to 8 plus 2, 10. So now we have this 5x equals 10. For us to get the value of x now, for the variable sides by the coefficient, which is what? 5. So over 5 over 5. Now 5 eliminate 5, and x equals, what is 10 divided by 5? 2. So we've been able to solve now for, in this short few work we've done, we've been able to solve for the value of x, which is 2. Now what is the next thing? You've gotten it good. So we're going to now insert this value, or insert it into the equation. That's what we call substitution. To substitute means to replace. So where you have x now, put in this, which is 2. So we're using this now, which is this equation. So put 2 here. So where you have x, put 2. You're going to have 2 plus y equals 8. We're looking for the value of y now. So what do? We try to deal with this out. We subtract 2 from both sides. So take 2 over, becomes minus 2. So you're going to have y equals 8 minus 2. And y equals 6. So you see the same answer. So we're correct. And it's shorter. That's why I said from the beginning that elimination method usually is shorter. Good. Alright, so that is it for simultaneous equations, simultaneous linear equations. There are some simultaneous involve quadratic. So I'm not going to talk about that just yet until I teach quadratic equations. So I'm going to give an assignment for now. Assignment. Assignment number 1. equals 7. And 3x minus 2y equals 3. Number 2. Y equals 3x. Correction to the last assignment. Okay. Y equals 3x and 4y minus 5x. 4y minus 5x equals 14. The last one, number 3. (5m minus 2n equals 15) and 3m plus 2, okay, plus 5n plus 5n. Alright, so this is it.